Hello everyone, and welcome to the second episode of Mind the Scat. My name is FAANA and I'm musician, guitarist, singer-songwriter, trying to combine meditation and mindfulness with music and music practice. And in this episode I'll be talking about how to improve your sense of rhythm. So first of all, I'd like to mention, just notice that everything in your life, or like many things in your life, are rhythm. I looked up the definition online, what is rhythm? And rhythm, I found it on Google, I believe it's from Wikipedia, a strong, regular, repeated pattern of movement or sound. So, what are regular patterns in our life? It can be days in a week, just a clock. Think about, for example, walking. Walking is basically very rhythmical. So we do rhythm stuff every day in our normal life. Even if you count, or if you say alphabet, you do it with certain sense of rhythm. If we think about it deeply, sound is of its own sort also rhythm, sound or even light. Because what is sound? What is pitch? It's just a frequency. And what's frequency? I looked it up on Wikipedia again. Frequency is the number of occurrences of a repeating event per unit of time. And what else is that than rhythm, right? So if you happen to be one of those people who believe that they have a good sense of pitch, they have good ear, in other words, but they're not quite good in rhythm, careful here, you're actually very good with rhythm, but on a very much finer scale. Your ear is very fine tuned on the frequencies, which is basically a rhythmical thing. If you look at the string, it moves up and down rhythmical. That creates the note. It's a rhythm. Everything is rhythm. Okay, with all that said, I prepared for you 5 simple steps which could improve your sense of rhythm and make your playing more fun and rhythmical and more groovy. Step number 1. Get rid of the limiting belief that your rhythm is bad. So, throughout my teaching career, and I've been teaching guitar over 7 years now, I've met many students who believed so deeply that their sense of rhythm is bad for some reasons, and it's sometimes really hard to get rid of these beliefs when they're deeply in you. So I came up with a list of few of them, the most common ones. So limiting belief number 1, I'm not talented enough. Okay, so this is something discussed quite often. I think the talent is overrated and that it's actually much smaller part than we believe it to be. I think it's actually much more the environment, because as children we're sort of like a sponge, we absorb everything, and if you're lucky enough and you grow up around musicians and listen to groovy music and all that, because your parents were into that thing, you will be much more likely to have the sense of rhythm. And if you don't have that, you probably just haven't developed that skill, or you haven't developed the talent which is in you, but it hasn't been developed yet. So don't make it the limiting belief. I mean, it's a thing, but too many people think that it's simply impossible to learn things, and that's exactly what holds them back from learning that. Limiting belief number 2. I haven't started early enough and it's harder to learn now. Okay, I mean, that's fair enough. There's obviously a bit of a truth in that as well. It's true that children are quick learners. They absorb all the information very quickly and easily, and then it gets harder as we grow up. But think about it deeply. Why is it that it gets harder? So child is basically like a blank sheet of paper. And then over time, as we tell them things, okay, you're good at this, you're not so good at this, you should be doing that and you shouldn't be doing that, a child starts to believe that and create those limiting beliefs for themselves. And that's exactly what prevents them from learning faster. So it's circular. children learn faster because they don't have limiting beliefs, because they don't think they cannot learn faster. Limiting belief number 3. My rhythm was screwed by playing with people who had bad sense of rhythm. Okay, this is also quite common, and it's obviously true that if you play around people who weren't so good in music, it sort of takes you with them to a certain degree. But again, good news is that you can simply change it, and I'm gonna get to it in the next step. You can find people who have great sense of rhythm, and I don't mean just physically, but I mean also online, and just listen to them and learn from them. Limiting belief number 4. My instrument is more melodic. Okay, so this is quite common with, for example, violinists, because obviously their instrument is more focused on the pitch. But again, there's no reason to make it your limiting belief, and I think in a sense all the musicians should be in their heart also drummers, because what's amazing about music and playing with other people, it's the connection which comes with a good groove, when the musicians sort of connect together, when they're tied together and they're connected. So this was step number 1, get rid of your limiting beliefs. You can also, on top of this, do some visualizations. For example, visualize yourself having great sense of rhythm, being on stage and playing amazingly, and then sort of connect with that person you're visualizing and becoming them. It helps as well. It's very important for the mindset. Okay, moving on. Step number 2. Observe and listen to people with great sense of rhythm and try to mimic them. This is actually a tip I got from Chick Corea himself. I watched his video about rhythm, and he was saying, find some musicians who you admire and you think they have great sense of rhythm, and just observe them. Here I would just add, it can't be just a regular watching a gig and eating dinner whilst doing that. It needs to be very deliberate observation. People underestimate the power of observation as a tool for learning, and I think if you sit down and play a gig of your favorite artist who you think has a great sense of rhythm and just observe them very carefully with a great deal of focus, it really helps. Moving on to step number 3. Analyze the rhythm you want to learn and make sure you understand it intellectually first. Okay, now we're getting more to a practical side of learning rhythm. So let's say you've got something you want to play, some rhythm on the guitar, or some rhythmic melody you want to learn, some bossa nova or something which is a little bit rhythmically tricky. Go slow at it. Many people want to rush it and sort of feel into it, which is possible to a certain degree, but then sometimes there might be some part of the rhythm you're not quite feeling, and then it gets sloppy and it sounds unprofessional and very not that good. The way you can avoid it, just take the rhythm very slowly and count out loud. I know it's boring, but it really helps. And clap the rhythm first for you, and really literally assign the numbers to the claps or the notes you're playing. So it could be something like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and something like that. You need to get it first. You can even write it down on a piece of paper, make it visual for yourself first, then you can start practicing it, which takes me to the step number 4. Practice very slowly with metronome. Yes, this is a big one. Of course, everyone says that, everyone knows that, but no one's doing it. So now you have the intellectual understanding of the thing. You need to take metronome and practice it really, really, really slowly. Set the metronome the way that it plays you all the subdivisions, for example, even 16 notes, like ta 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 ta, and start with that. So you have many reference points, and you can really sort of connect with the click, so you can hear it. And then you can move on and take those subdivisions away. Then you can go like with 8 notes, 1 ta 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 ta, then just quarter notes, ta ta, and then even less and less and less. Okay, last step. Move your body to feel the rhythm better. And I make myself a note here, Joe Dart. If you don't know Joe Dart, look him up. He's a bass player from famous band Wolfpack. The way he plays is incredible. He sort of moves his head like this and plays these all incredible grooves. He's the person with incredible sense of rhythm. Definitely watch him and check him out. Creating some sort of movement in your body helps you to feel the rhythm even deeper and to connect with it. But you can only do this after you went through all the prior steps, because if you don't know what you're playing, or if you can't technically do it on your instrument, this is not going to take you far, because then you can sort of just move and play wrong things and it doesn't help to anything. Okay guys, that's it from me for today. And just remember, don't be worried about this. Everyone can learn how to feel the rhythm better. Everyone can improve. So don't be stressed about it. Don't have limiting beliefs. And if this video brought you some value, please give me a like. Subscribe to my channel. I'll be releasing weekly videos, some covers and some vlog videos like that, connecting mindfulness and music together. And other than that, see you in the next video. And don't forget, mind the sky.